Hey everyone, Dr. Walker here. Let's look at one more example from video 106C on energy and satellite motion. In this example, we're trying to raise a satellite. It says how much work must be done to boost a 1,000 kilogram communication satellite from a low Earth orbit with H is 300 kilometers to a geosynchronous orbit. And we learned in a previous example what a geosynchronous orbit was and what the radius of that orbit is. And we learned that the radius of the orbit is actually 4.22 times 10 to the 7 meters. And this was actually the radius of the orbit, so it included the radius of the Earth within this number. So the initial radius is going to be the radius of the Earth plus h. And that's going to be approximately 6.67 times 10 to the 6 meters, because we have our 670 kilometers plus 300 kilometers is still going to be this number. So how do we find work done? We have to go back to the work kinetic energy theorem. We know that the net work changes the energy. The work external changes the kinetic energy of our system. And we just learned that when we have a circular orbit, we're going to assume these are circular orbits, that the energy is the 1/2 UG. So the change in kinetic energy is going to be 1/2 delta UG. So that's why we did that part on circular orbits and finding the energy of an orbit in terms of its potential energy. So now it's a plug and chug. The external work is going to be 1/2 times negative G mm times change is final, 1 over R final minus 1 over R initial. So we are going to plug all of the values. We have our G, the 6.67 times, I'll write them down the side here, G equals 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11. The mass of the Earth again, which is the 5.94 times 10 to the 24. And then the mass of the satellite is the 1,000. And then, the mass of the Earth was 5.97 times 10 to the 24. And then the final orbit is the 4.22 times 10 to the 7. And the initial radius is the 6.67 times 10 to the 6. So plug in all of these numbers in here, and we're going to get an energy of 2.52 times 10 to the 10 joules. So it requires a huge amount of energy to boost the orbit of a satellite.